everyone, it's Laura here with L&B's Gardens and Blossoms, and I'm back finally with another video. Now you're probably all wondering where I've been, which is totally understandable, I totally get that. The truth is, I needed a break. I felt like all I was doing was working and then spending my evenings editing and uploading videos, and it got a bit too much for me. It got on top, so I took a break. I'm back now. Again, I don't know if it's going to be an upload every week, but I will try and be a bit more regular with me uploads. You know, I'll try not leave it as long next time. But today I'm back with another video, which I do hope you enjoy. This video, I'm planting up this herb garden. Now you probably recognise this border from a previous video where I was working through winter tidying up all the borders. If you haven't seen that, then I'll definitely link it up in the top corner of the screen to check it out. But this is sort of what it looked like after I'd finished. And then the client wanted me to replant it up basically with herbs, how it was originally. So this is what I'm doing here. You can see me, I'm starting to just clear out some stuff that have grown too much and sort of taken over. And then you probably saw in the intro a bit ago the few plants that I'm going to plant up. I'll go through in a bit with you some of the plants that I've planted up for this herb garden. But as you can see, I start off by just clearing out the area, and then once the area is cleared out, I'll lay out the plants, sort of figure out where I want them to go. I tend to place them more towards the edge of the garden just so it's easy enough for the client when she comes out of the kitchen. She can just pick it out rather than having to traipse all over the border to pick out whatever herbs she wants. Now back to the video, I do hope you enjoy it. Again, sorry that it's taken me so long to upload, but I'll try and be a bit more regular. But I do have plenty of videos to sort of work my way through, although they were at the start of the season, so probably the videos that you'll see from now on, they'll be a bit out of time. You know, there'll be tulips and things flowering when really we're sort of towards the autumn time. Right, again, back to the video, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye! Here you can see me planting, but I'm not quite planting the herb plants just yet. So what I did when I was clearing out this border is I saved some of the plants that I dug out. I thought it'd be a waste just to throw them all away. So what I've done is I've split them and I've spread them throughout the border instead. And once they start growing, they'll fill in the border quite nicely. Now we're on to planting the herb plants. The first one that you see me with here is a mint, and I believe it's the peppermint. Now what you'll notice me doing is I won't plant it straight into the ground. I plant it in this plastic pot and then put the plastic pot in the ground itself, and that's because mint grows quite unruly, and if you don't want it spreading and taking over the border, which it will, then I'd recommend planting it in a pot and then planting that pot in the ground, which will then keep it in its place. Next you'll see me planting a lavender. Now I do end up moving this lavender, it doesn't actually stay here. When I was planting the rest of the herbs I decided it was in the wrong place, so I moved it further in the border. But I don't think I got that on video, I think I might have done that off camera. And now you'll see me planting parsley. I don't think parsley gets too tall, so I thought it'd be alright where I put it. You know, it won't overcrowd anything else. And as you can see, for the herbs, I planted them all along the edge of the wall. And where I'm standing, that's where the kitchen is, so she can just walk out the door and pick them right there. Now you'll see along here the tall green stems, they're chives, but you can't quite see. There is sage as well. Now what you'll notice me planting here is there was a branch that broke off the sage, and what I've done is I've just sort of planted it in the ground just to see if it'll set root, but I don't think it did. Surprise, surprise. Yep. Now that little plant that you just saw me planting, that was chamomile, that little one, and here you'll see me planting fennel, which I've moved that further into the border because that does grow really tall, and if it gets too close then obviously it'll overcrowd everything else, so I've tried to move that into an area where it's more or less on its own so it doesn't overcrowd anything. And here you can see me planting that sage that had broken off. Now these two little plants that you see me planting here, these are thyme. The little green plant on the right hand side, that's common thyme, and then the one I'm planting here, this yellowy one, that's lemon. I planted them really close to the edge of the wall because I thought what would be nice is once they start growing and grow over onto the wall, if you brush past them or if you decide to sit on the wall, there'll be a nice aroma, so there'll be a nice smell there. Once all the plants had been planted and before I went through with the watering can and gave them a water, I got my garden claw and just gave the soil one final rake through just to make sure I hadn't missed anywhere and give it that one final tidy. I then went on to watering the plants. I did mix in some liquid plant food with the water in the watering can and just gave the plants a good soaking. This is how the border looked when I'd finished that day. Doesn't look too full at the moment because obviously everything's all just been planted, so it hasn't quite set root and got established, and it was the beginning of the season, so nothing was really actively growing. I've got some before and after photos coming up for you to have a look at, and then further on you'll see how this border looks now, sort of towards the end of summer. Now that everything's filled in, it definitely looks a lot different and the client is thrilled. She's been using a lot of the hers, which is great to hear. You'll also notice in these photos that you'll see some hints of yellow. Those are marigolds that are planted. They have a nice scent to them also. Now we're coming to the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Right, I hope to see you soon. Take care and stay safe. And I'll see you for the next one. Bye!